Welcome to another Live at 5 with Girl Talk. I'm Elizabeth Vargas.
I'm Frances Carr Dunn.
Tiffany Sowersby.
Keith Maximillian.
I shouldn't say with Girl Talk. I should say by Girl Talk. This Live at 5 is more of a multicultural thing.
I take offense to that.
Multi-genre thing. It's Girl Talk with Keith. As everybody knows, we started off this season, we jumped into the hot seat because, no pun intended, the fires in Los Angeles. We were gonna try this whole new format on the road, but we decided to stick with what we know best, and that is Live at 5 in the studio with a group of friends, shooting the shit and just giving you the weekly tea and the update on drama and, local news, government news, whatever we can think of and whatever's on this little piece of paper I got right here. So let's just dive right into it. Again, I'm Elizabeth Vargas.
Frances Carr Dunn.
Tiffany Sowersby.
Keith Maximillian.
And we are here every week, every Monday, Live at 5 for you. So subscribe to YouTube.
I sleep
Get
here.
notified. What? Okay. We have our Lutava is our sponsor today. So Casey, thank you. Has everybody used one of these? Lutava is an antibacterial.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm in spin. She gave me a seat.
Oh yeah, this is the seat right here.
Yeah, it's great.
Nice.
So you don't get anything on your vagina, right?
Well, those seats are so dirty. You don't know if they're cleaning them all the time. And yeah.
Well, do you have pants on when you're using
So Casey,
Yes,
Casey,
but how many
product.
pants? And you don't understand
seats
girls.
you sit in all
I'm
over the
just
place.
telling you, I'm not going there right. The most cleanliest. So.
Okay, Casey, we love your product. As a woman, I go work out. I have a sweaty car seat. It's disgusting. So, oftentimes we wear little short shorts and you don't know what's getting up in there. So the fact that you could cover your seat and it kind of like takes off your sweat and puts it onto this and not your vagina is great. So
I feel like we could sell those.
and then here's the towels Casey has. This is to wipe your
After working out.
Anyway, thank you, Casey. We love you. All the ladies love you. We want to showcase your product today. So that's Casey in a nutshell. All right, let's dive into it today. What do we got? We got what's in the local news. We're going to start off with local news. Let's start off with the fires. Right now, they're 100% contained.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
As they should have been 24 hours after they started last time.
Yeah.
If there was water up in LA.
Some people were not prepared. They were not prepared for that.
But I think, so Stapleton, our new mayor, did a great job. He put together a program to help support Los Angeles, and it did really well. And I think last week you had mentioned there was only $500,000 in the fund.
Right.
Is there any more? Do you know?
I think I don't know exactly how much is, but they are increasing it. He's just done so many things, to help with people. And I know we didn't talk about this last time, but there's, a lot of kids were affected, right? Kids that had stuffed animals. And so what they're doing is they're actually sending stuffed animals to these children to help them feel a little bit of,
like they're at home.
at home, right? I just thought that was so great that they're doing that right now for the children.
We have, I know a lot of the Pasadena Animal Shelter. I want to thank everybody last week for donating your foster homes for the animals, donating your money, your time for the resources for families. People were housing people in their houses. Thank you to everybody who gave a little bit of themselves that made a huge difference to a lot of people. So California, really stepped up to the plate. Yeah. We came together. Actually, the country did.
Yeah.
As shocking as that was. We also have Speak Up Newport. We have the annual mayor's dinner coming up.
Yep, on the 6th.
On the 6th. So if you want to meet the new mayor, Joe Stapleton, sign up for the mayor's dinner. It's at the Vea. It says it's sold out, but you might be able to
Squeeze a ticket
or two in there. But we can't wait. They also have, that's the former mayor, Edward Salich. Is that how you say his name? Mm-hmm. Is presenting that evening, and Weber Christensen Hendricks is the sponsor that evening. Thank you for sponsoring it. We love our new mayor because our new mayor is here to help the community and help Los Angeles during the fire. So you've already stepped up to the plate. Let's also talk about the car chase in Newport Beach. Keith, have you heard about that?
I heard about that.
Okay, well, what happened? The guy died?
So they shot him. I guess so they came out to the Newport. The guy was from where? Chile? Was he, I don't know. They chased him. He's from Santa Ana. So Santa Ana police, and then they chased him onto the pier. I don't know how he even got the car onto the pier because I thought they have those posts.
And they have full on cement blocks.
Yeah, so I don't know how he.
We had
he's
a
a
car chase
motorcycle,
that
right?
ended up on
No, it was a
Newport
car.
Pier.
It was a car. So the car ended up on Newport Beach Pier. Police are following him, and there's some video of it online. I guess if Luke maybe wants
They
to pull it
opened
up.
fire in front of people.
Suspect killed in police shooting.
Yeah, so they ended up on the end of the pier, and and there's people standing on each side of the pier, just sitting there like a spectator, like it's like they're watching TV, and all of a sudden the cops just start firing at this guy. I guess the guy came out with a gun, and they just took him out. But everyone's just sitting there watching. I guess the one guy like about to jump off the pier.
There was one guy, it's just they're going pat, 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 and he's just like, oh. You see him turn around and they're like shooting at this guy, and I'm like, how are people so desensitized? Just like,
is there an alien?
Is he contemplating life too? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, so that was that.
But that's crazy. It was like 6 a.m. I mean, it's Orange
Yeah, it was
County.
early.
Yeah, it's wild.
Wow, that's wild.
I mean, Newport Beach has like a homicide rate, or like they had Newport Beach PD must have had to dust off their weapons because I don't think they've shot I don't think someone's gotten shot here by an officer involved shooting in a long time.
A long time.
Like, I mean,
But
they
he
barely.
had already murdered someone.
Right, he was a murder suspect, right? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But so supposedly, I heard that he had already murdered somebody inland somewhere.
Right.
And that he ended up at our pier.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Really, it wasn't our police that were chasing him. It was
Santa Ana.
Santa Ana.
Okay.
But what I don't understand,
Probably a little busier.
like the guy's on the run, right? At what point do you think driving onto the pier?
But look at this guy over here. He's like
It's
playing
like-
the guitar.
Look at this.
As the cops are going
They
by.
don't-
What
they
is
don't
it?
really
The
care,
other guy's
like-
fishing. Like, no big deal. Oh, I better put my fishing equipment on.
Wait, look, there's the guy with the little kid. Oh.
So yeah, that's pretty crazy. But like, I don't understand what he thought. Like, okay, I'm gonna take the turn to go down the pier. Like, that's a dead end.
Well, he wasn't thinking.
Well,
and I think
thinking he was
people
going to jump
yeah.
off, like, kind of.
Just ran the
yeah.
car through the end of the pier.
Wow.
And it's probably so surreal for everyone there. Like, think about it. Like, how often do you see people getting shot at, right? So
Yeah.
it's like TV, I guess. Like, you don't really.
It was like
What kind of a person, I mean, sorry he's passed away or unalive, but ends up on a pier when you're doing a car chase?
that's what I just said. Novel concept. No, but I said, how did he, number one, find his car through the concrete pillars?
Well, all those cop cars did, apparently. So,
yeah, I guess. I mean, or they don't have the pillars there because of the fishing people
maybe.
in the morning, so they don't.
okay.
But yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Okay, the local news, we have Geo and Tiffany, a local real estate agent. He's on Selling OC. They graced People magazine. Did you guys see this?
I did.
Yeah,
Him and his baby. And,
And his wife and
His
Tiffany
wife,
and their little
yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
How
I was
come
talking
People
about
magazine did a
I
spot
know,
on
that's
them?
what too.
That's what I was wondering, because I mean, he was great. He's great on the show, Selling OC, but out of all the characters, he's not, I don't know. I just felt like, I think there's more exciting people. Like,
Have you
he's
guys
very
seen
cool.
Selling OC?
Yeah.
Geo,
The Geo.
the dapper guy.
Yeah.
The
He dresses really nice.
Yeah, he's very European.
Very European. Yes.
They just did a whole spread on him in People.
It was a good spread too. It's actually really
It's a good
positive.
spread. It's a good spread.
Good spread.
Gio.
Good spread, Gio. You did
Good
good.
spread. Tiffany's wife's like, shut up, ladies. Okay, what else do we got? Oh, Pelican Point, burglary. The suspect was apprehended, and he was from a Chilean gang. Did you guys hear about this?
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyway.
How do you get into that gated community?
I know.
I want to know how they
Because
do
their
it.
guard gated are pretty intense
Yeah,
there, too.
yeah.
So.
So how does somebody get, and this is like the third burglary in Pelican.
I mean, they're in there somehow, right? They're either like already in there, so like, or it's a someone that works there.
Yeah,
let 'em in.
that's what it was. Usually it's people that are like doing work and doing
Yeah, but
handyman work.
you need to give like a blood test to get into Pelican.
Right.
Like, I don't even know
I
how.
don't know.
It's like, hey, I'm here to check out the street. Like, I don't even know.
I even went for an open house and they take your ID.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do all of it. So.
And how do you expect to get out? Like, I mean, like if the guard, they just don't open the gate, you're screwed. Someone's getting a burglarized. Okay, don't open the gate.
Where do you put the TV? Do they just
Right.
throw it over the gate and they're like, okay, you got it?
But if they come in like they're doing work, the handyman work, they have the vans or whatever, and they pull in, we're going to do work.
Yeah, but you still have to have
225.
permission to do it, and they still have to have a view on the computer. So
I know.
that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's like a handyman or something that just gave them permission.
It's just, yeah.
And that's the thing with gated communities and people who have staff. It just takes one rogue staff member that has a code or has an access key or a passcode to know
Make your
somebody
HOA
that's
dues
a
not worth it.
criminal and sell it to that person.
You've had a couple of those.
Oh, I have.
Some rogue assistants.
I've had some rogue assistants, and I've had rogue. Gardeners who knew somebody who knew somebody. I've had rogue electricians. I've had a rogue plumber. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
Racking them up.
Did that one
rack 'em
assistant
up.
take all your contacts out of your phone?
Yeah, I had a really bad assistant that was referred to me from a good referral who referred me to a complete, I'm not going to get into it, but yeah. You know, they prey on your weakness.
Yeah.
And, anyway, long and short of it, it just takes one bad, and we have so many people in Orange County that, like, it's an ecosystem of people that work and help other people. So, I mean, imagine all the elderly in Orange County.
Yeah.
I mean, they must get taken advantage of like insane because they're so wealthy.
Yeah.
Like, it just takes one bad, what is it, keeper? What do they call them?
Caretaker.
Caretaker. Yeah.
To just see an old person in a vulnerable state and then say, okay, how can I write myself a check? How do I?
I mean, there's so many laws against that too, like taking advantage of an elderly person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they still do it.
They still
Yeah,
do
they
it.
do it. You guys gotta get caught, I guess.
Yeah.
Just get a job. I would say, just get a job. Isn't it easier to get a job instead of
Oh, it's
taking
easier to milk off the government. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, we're getting into politics.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Frances, give us, we got Frances Carr Dunn, who is our local celebrity real estate agent. She's on a show called American Dream TV. She's the host. Host or hostess?
Host. They call us hosts.
Host. And she is an expert. She's a real estate advisor, and she's going to give you the 411 on Orange County real estate based on the fires.
Yes. So I think we were talking about the other day, there seems to be tons of rentals right now because people are being displaced. But what's really kind of intriguing is that 3 months ago, there was probably, maybe 40% less rentals. Right now, when you see about the rental market versus the houses that are for sale, there are about 290 houses for rent and about 290 houses for sale. And of course, depending on where you live in Orange County, it's a little more expensive. So the average price of a home, say in Orange County, is like 1.5 million. But if you're living like in the Newport Beach area, you're looking at, actually 3.9 million. Harbor Island is like 13 million.
But 3.9 million is the average.
It's average.
No. In Newport Beach.
Newport Beach.
It's 5 million in Laguna.
It's 5, yeah.
Laguna is a higher.
Laguna is.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
5 million in Laguna average. That's what it said when I was reading it the other day. I don't know if Zillow's accurate, but that's what it was saying.
I don't know. Yeah, because actually I have a couple listings in Laguna, and price per square foot, it's actually a little bit less expensive, price per square foot in Laguna Beach. And it depends on if it's North Laguna, South Laguna,
Wow.
But what's interesting is that the rental market is as many houses are available for rent as to buy.
So
which
what
has
about
never
Los
been
Angeles
that way.
compared to Los Angeles? Is there houses? Because I heard that. Okay, so is price gouging still going on? Or
Yes.
have they solved that problem?
No, it's still going on.
Because of fires?
Because of fires. Fortunately, people are being placed in different homes now, but still, the rent in LA, and what's happening is all the properties next to LA, which you have, Manhattan Beach, you have Santa Monica, those prices have increased 40%.
Oh my God.
That's a lot. And the housing market's already high as it is right now. But now with all the fires, they're getting it.
Yeah.
Because people are in bad positions and they have to, they have to find a place. And, and it's a tough position to be in. Your family, you look at the news and you see these people have lived in their houses for 50 years.
Yeah.
They've raised their children, their grandchildren, and, now they have no place to go.
So what are they going to do about? So I heard, and we discussed this last week, where they were going to take property taxes down to the dirt. And Keith, you had said, well, the whole value is the dirt.
Right.
So, shouldn't they just cut out taxes altogether right now?
That's a great question. They totally should.
That would be wonderful.
No, for people that lost their houses in the fire. Not for everybody.
Yeah.
I'd imagine so, but you're in California, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So also,
That's a lot of money too. You got 500. I think just in the Palisades alone, it was like $550 million.
Yeah.
What?
So in property taxes.
Well, what Trump said he was going to do to the people that wanted to rebuild is he was going to give them like a percentage of being able to get more extension out of their square footage or their lot, or be more lenient on certain permits, giving them more.
Yeah.
Trump suggested that. He doesn't have any say in that 'cause it's California.
Because that would make it make
I think
sense
what
for them
what
a
he's
little
doing is
bit.
he's leveraging what he's going to provide California in return for them to let people start building better.
Okay.
It's just a leverage.
It's not just isolated to that area.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the homeless tax on purchase of property over $5 million. Can you explain that to me, Frances?
Well, basically, it's if it's over $5 million, that they pay an additional 4% tax that's supposed to go to the homeless, and if it's $10 million, then it's 5% tax. I mean, that's
The homeless aren't even being served any money. So where is this money actually? I heard it was just sitting in a fund doing nothing right now.
Yeah.
Wait, is that like a Robin Hood concept? Like they're taking from the rich?
Rich to give to the poor.
Yeah.
But it's also discouraging people from buying and selling their
over
homes.
5. Yeah.
But think about the people that are in the Palisades. I mean, if their houses are, if it's a $5 million average price of a home, that's $5 and $6 million. That's a lot of money that they're having to pay taxes on. So now
it's only on the sale though.
It's only on the sale.
Yeah,
it's only sale. So, but
about 250 grand.
But they're selling. But they're selling a lot.
Yeah.
They're selling a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, people are selling.
Yeah, of course.
Even if you have a house here and the whole street is gone, you're not going to want to live there. So people are selling their houses now. They're selling the land. Is what they're selling.
Right.
So.
Where you think will people be moving besides Arizona and Vegas and Texas?
Well, I think they're going to stay.
Florida.
A lot of people have
Florida. I heard a lot of people are moving to Florida.
Yeah.
Florida's just so well run.
Yeah.
As DeSantis just has that whole operation. Except recently, the whole ICE thing, the deportations, I guess his state Senate kind of went against him on something, and they're all Republicans. So it was kind of weird that, because they were trying to make these laws that made it easier to deport illegal immigrants or violent offenders, and the Senate didn't correspond with that exact order he made, which is really weird because they're all Republicans, so it's like infighting now. But I remember seeing DeSantis talking about that, and he's like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Wow. Let's talk about this plane crash over DC. 67 people lost their lives. What kind of helicopter was it?
So it was I think it was a U-60 or. What was it? It's a transport helicopter. So those helicopters are only designed they're only designated to transport VIPs. I forget what kind it was. It was like
So it's a VIP.
It's a VIP transport helicopter.
Crashes well known, mid-air collision at the Reagan Airport.
Black Hawk.
Black Hawk. It just says Black Hawk.
Well, don't be racist about it.
I was like,
Shut up, Keith.
That was good.
And you're fired.
And you're fired. Just get out.
I thought Black Hawk.
Wait, you have to be hired before you get fired.
It's true.
Black Hawk, yeah. So anyway, so how do you think, so Trump was saying that the DEI was to blame for the air traffic controllers. They only had 11 people on staff when they normally would have 25 or something like that.
Yeah.
So here's I'm a pilot. So
because you're a pilot, you fly.
this is Class Bravo airspace, which is the gnarliest airspace to fly. LA, Vegas, JFK, those are all Class Bravos. And in order to even get into a Class Bravo, you're on full radar Class Bravo.
Class Bravo.
That's the craziest airspace. The ones that have planes to your left and right. And so if you don't follow directions from ATC or the tower, people die. People die.
Obviously.
So, and they vector you. If they, I've been in numerous times where they'll be like traffic alert, 15 degrees left. So they say what to do at every step of the game. But from what I was looking at or listening to on that ATC recording was the Black Hawk was ceiling was at 200 feet. Should have been. They should not have been over 200 feet. The plane, apparently, according to the FAA.
Who's coming in for a landing?
Not the Black Hawk. The plane was on short final, right? And so they were at 325 feet, according to the data recorder. However, there's no way that the helicopter could have been at 200 feet and the plane could have been at 325 feet. And they're both at the same level.
Yeah, how?
So someone's altimeter either was, I think that someone didn't set the altimeter right or something. I don't know how that. You have to set your altimeter each time you get in the plane based on density.
Was it American Eagle flight or American?
I can't imagine that the plane, I want to say that the Black Hawk was not at fault on this.
American Airlines plane.
Because number one, they should have seen them, right? They even asked them, do you have the traffic in sight? And the Black Hawk said, yes, traffic is in sight. Follow, and they asked him for visual separation.
Wow.
So
it's at 8:47 p.m. So they couldn't visit. It was nighttime. They
there's still lights, and the Black Hawk has it's a military aircraft.
Right.
It has crazy radar
It
instrumentation.
should have sensors, like the
everything.
Tesla has
Yeah,
a
like,
sensor for getting too close to
Number one, the
car.
Black Hawk can take off and land by itself. Okay, so
Really?
you don't even
Yeah.
need a pilot.
How is this even possible? This happened.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna find out that.
Is air traffic control going to get in trouble? The guy?
Yeah, well, it's
girl?
I think it's a girl, but
I'm sure someone's fired.
so and then so Trump got on there and he's like, he said, oh, the DEI, and then like all the reporters started getting on him because they thought apparently the pilot is a trans service member.
Oh boy.
So that's what I'm understanding.
The pilot.
Pilot of the Black Hawk is a trans service member, but not. I think that they didn't, and that's why I don't think they wanted to release the name. I think. Luke, can you look that up?
Was the pilot of
It was the pilot of the Black Hawk.
Okay, so I heard that they had hired, they didn't hire for qualifications, they hired for...
So hold on. So just to finish that
quota.
thought. So finish the thought on. So they didn't release the name of the Black Hawk pilot because they thought everyone was going to start harping on that woman who's a captain, and she got 500 hours, which I really don't think there's a lot of hours relative to being in a military aircraft. But so they didn't release her name for a while, and then Trump started talking about the DEI.
She's 28 years old.
She's only 28?
Yeah.
There's two pilots, Andrew and Rebecca.
Yeah. So.
She was a military. Oh, she was so distinguished, Chapel Commissioner.
So I don't know why they didn't want to. Oh, here, go down. The Army asked to withhold her name.
Is that because they're doing the whole thing, whether it's gender or qualifications? Is
Well,
that why
that's what I thought. So because Trump brought up DEI really quickly.
Yeah.
And he usually does that.
He wouldn't do it unless he knew exactly
He's always done that. He's always released information that people are like, well, why is he saying that? Just kind of like with COVID.
Yeah.
It's like the flu. Everyone's going to get it eventually, right?
Yeah.
And he's right.
Yeah.
So he gets briefed, and then he just kind of releases these little tidbits that nobody else has information on.
They were on a training flight.
Yeah. So, and then there's a whole bunch of conspiracy theories that the pilots in the Black Hawk were not actually alive when the Black Hawk took off. Because the Black Hawk can technically fly by itself.
How is that?
And then they tracked the Black Hawk from a residential address that's owned by some Dubai.
It does say she's a transgender pilot from Virginia National Guard.
But what
She's a
does
transgender pilot from Virginia National Guard, and she's 28.
But what does that have to do with?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
I don't
That's why I think.
That has
So I
nothing
think
to do with
that's
that.
that's why they wanted to.
They're trying to say she's not credited. She wasn't. She only had
Like
500 hours, and
affirmative
she's she only was hired because of her gender.
Because
So, but okay, so
is what they're trying to say.
I think no. I don't think they're. I think that was the confusion of when Trump said there was a DEI issue with this. They were saying, "Oh, what's DEI based on the pilot?" He wasn't talking about that. He was talking about the control tower because there was only one controller when there should have been two, and there was like 1,000 controllers that didn't get the job to apply to.
They were white. They said
because they were white,
they're-
and they had a lawsuit. They had a lawsuit against the FAA.
They have a lawsuit because they were qualified, but they didn't get hired because they weren't dark.
Because they weren't, their
They
skin
weren't,
color. So, but
another
the
color.
best thing was they did there was a meme or something that said the pilot got on. It was like right after this happened, right? And the pilot does this. You're on the plane, and he's like, I know some of you are probably scared to fly right now, but he's like, I have a lot of hours. I actually got the job, but the way I was supposed to. So he was kind of making fun, but he was also like, my goal is to transport. I have no other priority in life but to get you safely to your to your destination.
Right.
That is my sole responsibility in life currently. So it was kind of cool. I think people felt secure after that.
Yeah.
But it is it's a gnarly scenario when there's a couple of things that you don't want DEI. This is why DEI is such a big deal, is because you don't want your surgeon, right? If you're in the hospital, to have gotten that job without fully having the credentials to
I
do
wouldn't
it.
want anyone flying an airplane I was
Yes.
getting on
Right.
unless you were actually qualified. I don't care
Yeah.
if you're whatever you identify as.
Right.
Are you fucking
Right.
qualified?
And that's exactly what.
Like,
that's
I don't
exactly
care what you
yeah.
think you are. Your sexual preference
Yeah.
is
Right.
not.
I mean, you can have
It
sex
has
with a
nothing
snake.
to do
I
with
don't
if
give
you
a
fly that
crap. So
airplane.
you know how to fly the fucking plane.
Whatever you want to
Just don't have
your
it-
job.
just don't have sex while you're flying the plane.
Yeah, I don't have just don't have sex while you're flying the plane. But I think but I think there's a couple of jobs that's the whole issue with this is do you want to know your pilot is a good pilot? But them having I mean, it's not even the pilot, the control towers. That is the most stressful job. Like it is the number one. I think
They said you have to be a genius to be in there. How could you hire?
I heard it takes like 10 years off your life.
Yeah.
No, it's like answering 911 calls.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's way worse. It's way worse.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with planes that are on collision courses. And if you happen to like zone out or like, oh, I got to text my girlfriend, I got dinner tonight. Like you can't think about anything about what except what's right in front of you.
Yeah.
But I heard they don't get paid very well, and they're going to change
Yes.
that. I heard they're going to give them like top pay, top benefits. Because I mean, if it takes 10 years off your life and you go in there knowing that is your sole purpose in life right that minute.
And most of those people, I feel like most of those people are very OCD.
right.
Because you're watching little bleeps on a screen
Yeah.
with vectors, and like you're like hundreds of people's lives rely on a split second decision that you have to make.
Yeah.
And I've been in a close call one time.
I was going to ask, have you ever had a close call?
on an uncontrolled tower.
Me. No.
Were you on a plane? I was flying to have.
That was a party.
No, this was on his plane.
Well, I happened to be in the.
We'll get into
I
that
was
later.
not.
Get into that later.
What?
Yes.
You're kidding.
Spilling the tea.
That was when I first learned to fly.
So the alternator went out and a gas cap was flowing gas outside of the plane. And I was
You're
like,
crazy.
yeah, no.
You're crazy right
We've
now.
been on a couple flights together and it was kind of.
Okay, so
Is this true?
no. So
That was when you first learned you left your cap open?
No. It wasn't.
There's
It
two
was just-
times. Two separate times that I had a little out of body experience, but I love him. He's a good pilot, guys. He's a great pilot, but
That doesn't sound too convincing. I'm sorry.
traumatized me for life.
Listen, for all small planes have an alternator failure, like you just lose electricity, right? But the plane doesn't run on electricity. It just runs on the engine runs on it doesn't need electricity to run. So you can still fly the plane. You just don't have instruments. You don't have electronic.
Coast into that.
You want to go?
I didn't coast into anything.
He's like, we could just coast into it. I'm like, the fuck we are. Let's get out of here. Like, I have to turn this plane around right now.
Yeah, she told me to turn the plane around.
Sweating.
She's
And when all the electric things go off on a plane, and he's like, don't worry, I got this.
I
We'll
know.
just coast.
I got
And I'm like,
this is
no,
what this is what you train for.
So did you coast or did
No.
we turned around and
You
then
did
it
turn?
came back on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the engine runs. It's the whole thing.
Engine right there. You're just coasting.
Listen, it's all.
You just don't have instruments. He's instrument rated without instruments.
Listen.
I trust him. I do, but
She's like, I don't want to die. I'm like, I don't give a. I don't really care. I don't want to die. Like she's like, I don't. But I've known Tiffany for a long time, and I don't think I've ever seen her like.
I went ghost
stress.
twice. I was
Like,
like, we need to turn around, please.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Well, you're here to tell about it.
Yeah.
So, but I did.
What
I
was
did.
your close call?
Okay, so I was flying in Havasu, and there's no tower, so you just have to talk to the other pilots. And if the other pilots,
Havasu, the party.
it's not a party; it's a very well-respected city. So
Havasu.
We believe you.
a lot of history there.
Steel Platt has a place there
He
now.
does. He's built a house.
Yeah.
So, so I was flying in like the other plane. Usually, you're supposed to fly on alternate altitude. So, like if I'm flying east, I fly on odd numbers. So I fly 5,500, 7,500, 9,500. If you're flying west, you fly at 6,500, 8,500, or 10,500, right?
Okay.
So there's a big separation, except if you're by an airport. So if you're by an airport, that's where all mid-air collisions usually happen because you're so close together. So I felt like the guy was like right on top of me, but so he was coming one way, I was going the other, and we didn't have the ADSB at that point, and at that time, which is where you see the other planes. And he didn't make a radio call. And I said, I'm like 15 miles out, descending through 4,500. And he didn't make a radio call. And he's probably 100 feet off my left wing. And I'm lucky that nobody else saw it because I like literally shit my pants. Like I was like, and it's usually not you. That's just like a car accident. It's usually not you.
That'd be
it's the other
defensive,
person.
right?
Yeah.
So you just got to be always, and I love flying because it's always like, it keeps you on your toes. And it's really like, I love multitasking, but it's like the ultimate multitasking.
Oh.
Because you got to talk. That's so going into the next pilot accident with the one in Pennsylvania.
Okay, so that was a medevac.
Right. And it's a Lear 55, which
Lear
are
55.
super safe planes. I think they haven't had an accident on that thing for like 15 years or something like that. But did you see the video? Luke, will you pull up the video of that Lear 55? People are like, oh, it's a missile. So I'll show you what happened with it. Just the video of the.
What's it called?
It's Pennsylvania medevac flight crash video. So the whole thing with clouds, and this is how this accident happened. I think there's one video that actually shows it.
2 days ago?
Could have been. But there's like some new ones. There's new videos.
Well, there are 6 people on board with that one, right?
Yeah. Go to the video. Just go to the video. Oh. They're probably not going to show it on the news. It's like...
Come on, be like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, do the one on the...
Right away. You know everything, Luke.
Anyway, so the way JFK died, Jr., is when you get into the clouds, you can't tell that the plane's upside down. Because you heard the term flying by the seat of your pants?
Yeah.
The way that term came in is that if you're getting pushed down in the seat.
Oh my God, is that the...
Yeah, so if you're getting pushed down in the seat, it means you're flying up. If you're not, it means you're upside down.
What?
Because if you're in the clouds, you can't see any visual reference.
Yeah.
So if you're upside down, you can't tell you're upside down.
Yeah, but I would think if you're upside down, you'd be able to feel that you're
Not if you're ascending or descending. So if you're descending down, you're still going to be pushed into the seat, but you're upside down because you're technically like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's a video of the plane looks like a missile going down into the ground, and the reason why is because they were upside down.
What?
So if he's upside down, the plane's going to go a lot faster, and it's going to.
How did they get upside down?
They were in the clouds. They didn't realize they were upside down. So they think either there was a complete instrument failure, which I don't think is possible because instruments run on both electric, vacuum. It would have had to been a mechanical failure of that plane that they had no control, and the plane flipped over and just then it would go down like a missile.
Is it like a vortex?
Does a plane like that have a black box?
Yeah, they can't find it though.
Oh, they can't find it?
They think it's disintegrated, or they think someone stole it. Like they said,
What? Yeah,
unless it's happened.
why would somebody steal that?
Yeah.
Malaysia Airlines, here we go.
The fact
I don't
that
know.
you went back on the plane with him, that's pretty...
Oh no, I went back after the gas.
Like,
cap
I wouldn't let him...
The gas, so we're going to San Diego. He's like, want to go have a quick lunch in San Diego? I'm like, sure. Me and my girlfriend get on this plane.
Happened.
And all of a sudden I'm looking out the window and
wasn't as
I
bad.
see this liquid just flying off the wing. And I go, Keith, what's that? What is that? And then all of a sudden he's like, he gets
Here's
this
why I got
look
my
on his
license
face.
revoked.
And then he gets the paperwork out and he's like reading a manual. And I'm like,
No.
And I was like, oh. So then I call FaceTime my friend Neil, our friend Neil, and I was like, Neil, what's going on? And for some reason I had service.
How
And
would
Neil's like,
Neil know?
that's your gas. And I was like, gas? Like, how is this our gas? Our gas is just flying out of the plane. Like, we landed and there was a half a tank of gas left.
You guys, Tiffany.
It's so true.
Let me explain.
I have
Tiffany's
witnesses.
exaggerating
Okay, let's
beyond
hear Keith's
exaggeration.
side of it.
You're exaggerating beyond exaggeration. AirV gas is blue, okay? So you can see it very clearly if it's like leaking out of the wing. So the gas cap was on, but it was, apparently the seal was broken. So it was leaking out of the gas cap, but it was just this little stream of gas, but it looked like a lot because it's all blue.
Because of the wind.
Right.
Yeah,
It's just the wind and it's blue. It's like kind of like when you take a piss out of a car.
Right.
It looks like you're like, So the same concept, but you're going 100 miles an hour and it just looks like a lot, but it's
Right.
little tiny things.
I was crying.
We're not a half tank of gas out.
I heard that's what you said. It was like, oh, we still had a half tank of gas. And I'm like,
We still have a half tank.
in
was
San Diego,
joking
have you
with
ever
you.
landed in San Diego on a private jet? It's really hard to land a plane because you have to like go through these big city things and get in really quick.
Did that show it?
Look at that, yeah.
Yeah,
Look
see,
at that,
look,
look
yeah.
at
Oh,
that.
it looks like a missile.
So yeah, he's upside down.
Wow,
And that's-
it was upside down for
You could tell he's
sure.
upside down. He's just going, and he's trying to pull up. He's in the clouds and just trying to pull up. You see you can see
Oh
the,
my God.
you can see the flashing
That is
lights.
insane.
Yeah.
People probably thought it was a bomb.
You see, see the top?
Looks like a shooting star.
Look, do you see the
right?
flash? Do you see the flashing light?
You're like,
on the-
aliens!
So anyway,
Nobody believes in aliens anymore.
so yeah, so that was that. But I'm really curious. That's the flight I'm really curious about because how did experienced Learjet pilots get upside down in a plane? Like in
Who was in there? Was it just pilots?
No, so it was what 4 crew and then 2. It was like a kid just got out of the hospital. They were at Shriners. The kid just got out of Shriners. That's some rare disease.
Oh, that's
Like,
sad.
and then they had 2 people that cured cancer on there. And they,
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like,
No,
I'm like,
but you know, how, like, you know,
That's true. I know. I was like, oh, that's true. I was like, I didn't hear that.
you know the theory.
God, Keith. Oh my God, I'm gonna.
Where's
But you know-
this podcast. This
You know the
show.
theory that everyone like the planes crash when they have all of the executives on there.
Yeah.
And they just found out how to cure cancer. And they're gonna go report it to the world, and all of a sudden the plane crashes. Like
it's like that meme where this guy's on a plane. He's like, are any of you billionaires? Crypto investors? I need to know right now.
Okay, so while we're talking about politics, I was gonna not talk about it till the end, but let's talk about Trudeau. He resigned in
caved.
So Keith, what is your conspiracy theory on why Trudeau just like literally said, "I'm out"? Is it because
his party?
Remember when Trump became in office, he immediately flew to see Trump, and there was some conversation that none of us will ever know about Ukraine and Trudeau. That all of a sudden Trudeau decides to resign. What's
his
going
party
on?
forced him out because he knew. Like I think he was just going to get annihilated by Trump, just as like what you just did. Like they just imposed 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada.
Okay.
And then you have Mexico who did the smart move and said, okay, fine, we're good. We sent 10,000 troops to the border, right? So now they're going to postpone the tariffs for a month. And I love the Democrats. They got on there and they're like, we knew Trump was going to do this and ruin the country with tariffs. It's like, Trump is playing the game.
Yes.
He is playing the game.
You guys played us for years.
Yes.
We're just playing it back finally
it's
because
just-
we were the worst chess players for the last 15 years.
Horrible.
And now we're like, okay, we're back.
I know.
Who knows how to play chess and win the Rubik's Cube?
Trump's like solving Rubik's Cube blindfolded.
It's like,
Oh yeah.
I feel like he's the Rubik's Cube quick king. He's like, I got it.
But the best part about Trump is he's already a good businessman.
Yeah.
But when you have the unlimited resources of the United States now, like now he's just unstoppable. Like he threatened 25% tariffs, which would have taken Canada out.
Yeah.
Like Canada would have ceased becoming a country.
Right.
Like they could not afford that. 40% of their stuff goes to us.
Right.
Like, so
That's it, really? 40%?
40%. And then they buy, so he had his not the prime minister, but they had, I forget what's the name of the guy, the other guy of Canada? It's like the premier or something. He's like, well, we're going to put the same amount of tariffs on lumber and everything else that you guys give to us. And it's like, cool, bro. It's kind of like a kid. It's kind of like a kid in school going, well, if you don't wear it,
and then you have
not Justin Trudeau, but the other guy,
who's the prime minister?
No, not the prime minister. It's the other, the Canadian premier. It's like he's called the premier, I think.
The premier.
But he's not the prime minister.
Canadian premier. Oh my God, we're horrible at this.
Anyway,
whatever.
He's like, we're gonna tax your stuff too. And the guy didn't even realize that if he does that, it makes it even worse.
Yeah. Right.
Like, so Trudeau had to step in and they kowtow to Trump. So now they agreed to do a $1.2 billion fentanyl deal. So he's gonna put soldiers
Fentanyl
on.
deal, what?
Yeah.
They're gonna to prevent fentanyl from coming across the Canadian border.
And then
There's
Mexico-
wait.
Mexico
I thought
did that
fentanyl
too.
only came through Mexico.
No.
Am I okay? Explain this to me. It's coming through Canada?
Comes to on a border that's open.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
how are they getting it to Canada?
Well, it's easier to get to Canada.
How?
Because Canada doesn't require you can get into Canada a lot easier than it is to get.
So what?
Not true. Have you ever had a DUI and tried to get into Canada?
No.
It's really. Have you ever taken a DUI? No, but I've had people that literally get denied because they consider it a felony in Canada, but not in the United States.
Okay, so my question is, what port is letting fentanyl in?
They don't.
Is it
You don't walk up to customs and be like, well, don't mind the fentanyl on my bag.
Don't mind the big bags I have in my purse.
It's like, don't look at the black one. So they kind of roll through and they don't go through ports of entry, but they don't have they don't have the gates and the border, like the fences, so they just roll through. So anyway, it's a lot easier. And I think they said that a lot of it, I'm not sure if the majority of fentanyl comes through Canada, but a lot of it. So
more than Mexico then.
So it's not just strippers.
No.
from Canada?
Yeah, there's actually.
Strippers?
Is that a thing?
Oh my God! You guys don't know this?
Strippers are carrying fentanyl?
What's the?
Let me call someone else.
What's the
Ask
Hello,
Destiny.
Spearmint Rhino?
Ask Destiny. Is that true?
No.
Let me call Mercedes. Hold on.
The French part of Montreal. I heard Montreal is
How
like
does that have to do with strippers?
a king of stripper area.
But they're very
all the strippers live there, and they all deal drugs up there. They do.
Fentanyl.
Maybe we should go to Canada.
I just thought all the
Mercedes, I'm coming to visit.
right?
Hey, Destiny, I'm on the way.
Destiny, Mercedes.
So they have so all of a sudden Trudeau says, oh, we're going to give like $1.2 billion to the border patrol and like make sure that none of that, and it was like a whole series of stuff. And Trump's like, okay, we'll postpone the tariffs for another month. I can't wait to see what the Dems have to say about that. Just like, wait, his idea worked.
Yeah.
Weird.
Okay, so what are they? Okay, let's move on to Greenland. Okay, what's happening with Greenland?
Greenland.
The
Are
52nd state.
What?
Are we taking it back?
Well, there's 50. Okay, there's 50.
So, by the way, you have to do research every week because you're like our political guy. We got to know what's new. This is world news right
I
now.
know. I got
This
the
is our live
itinerary.
news with
I got the
Keith,
itinerary 5
Maximillian.
minutes ago.
We are live at 5.
With Carr Dunn over here. Pop culture with Sowersby.
So Denmark has 54,000 people that live there. And they all, I think the majority of them want to be part of the United States because they don't like how Denmark is handling it. The Denmark's there, it's not part of Denmark, but it's technically a separate, not country, but it's like a territory or something.
Why would they go with us?
Why?
Yeah.
Because they have security. Like that is the biggest shipping zone of that area.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's actually, and to be honest with you, I think we will have a portion of Denmark, or we will be involved a lot more in Denmark because it's a big freight, like a military active zone, and like we need to have it for national security for sure.
But I heard that Denmark has like free health, like no.
all that.
Why would they want to come here?
All that 75 cents is going to keep,
Right? I mean,
is
it's
gonna
all
keep
free.
the military.
It's
Like,
all free medical.
But if you have issues like with Russia and all that stuff, we protect them now anyway. So, like, Trump's just saying, hey, look, we're going to be protecting you. We want, and they have great resources. Like they have a lot of like natural resources.
So how do you guys think, so let's talk about, we went through a huge transition the last few weeks. I mean, we had fires and a new administration come in. We had everything's happening all at once. We've got just like plane crashes. I mean, we really kind of just went like, bam.
New president.
2025,
Yeah.
new
I
president.
can't believe he's only been in office for like a week.
You know,
he's done a lot.
January has felt like a year.
It's
It's the
shit right
29th. Yeah.
So let's talk about Newsom right now in California again, because we're obviously California-based. We were severely impacted by the fires. Newsom created California as a disaster. Our leadership is horrible in the higher level. I think that we do great. Our leadership in Orange County is phenomenal. We have Joe Stapleton who just came into office. We had Will O'Neill was previously, now he's the head of the Republican Party. I mean, we have great leaders in Orange County. And why is it that our society here is so safe, so secure, so clean? Why won't anybody listen to us that maybe you should run your city like we do?
It's Newsom. He doesn't listen to anyone.
Why is it that Newsom
Great
won't
question.
listen to our leaders in Orange County saying, look, our reservoirs are full. The red tape was broken and we filled them up. We didn't have to get an outsourced contractor and then we fought over who got the contract so we didn't fill up the reservoirs because nobody fixed it. Like it just seems like it's just shit up there.
Well, Newsom's been recalled 8 times.
Literally.
They tried 8
So are they
times.
cheating? Is that why they come in?
They think so.
Is he cheating?
Someone says they think that.
It has
that's
to be
the
going
case.
on
because there's no way he would still be in office.
The
They've
recall
tried
from
8
that.
times.
If he
He's never going to get recalled till his term is just
no,
up.
he's got it. He's after this. After
not
COVID.
getting recalled.
After COVID.
Well, after COVID, didn't he? He didn't get recalled, right?
No, that was an attempt.
was that before or after COVID? I think it was after.
It was after.
So he's related to Nancy Pelosi or no?
It's his cousin. It's his aunt.
And they
So
both
they are
have
related.
investments
Suzanne.
in the
Yeah.
mask company or no? Was that just a
That's just
conspiracy theory?
Newsom's crazy bullshit.
But how do we know what investments that their family has? Because I'm
Well, Pelosi's
curious.
made what, $185 million?
rating.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know what
Insider trading.
investments
That
Newsom
is
has,
totally
and I want to
insider
know his
trading.
portfolio, Nancy Pelosi's
Well,
portfolio.
you can find out. First of all, you
I
can
want
trade.
all
like
of the
that.
government officials' portfolios of investments to
They have
be
it.
put online.
They have it. You can
Where?
trade exactly like
what they're
Nancy
doing.
Pelosi.
Yeah.
But what if they have it named under an LLC and it's
No.
I would think they'd
personal
have it
name?
named under
have a family
LLC.
member.
I think
Yeah.
that's
Under a
all,
family member or a mom? Like, what's his name? Who's the football player that put everything under his mom's name and his wife divorced him and found that everything was in his mom's name?
Oh.
Not that guy that committed murder. I'm trying
No.
to
Anyway, what I'm saying is that these government officials probably put stuff in other people's names.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
can
would.
see that.
Let's say if I knew something, I'm not going to take the risk. I'm going to tell a friend, and we're going to make money
Martha
together.
Stewart
And
went to
somebody
prison for that.
exactly.
Yeah. And doesn't Nancy Pelosi gets paid, I want to say $250,000 a year, except she shows that she makes like $1 million something
They
a
all do.
year.
Yeah.
Like, how can you not call that insider trading? If you have to approve, right?
Getting text messages, Keith?
Yeah, I was just trying. Someone's trying to ask questions.
That's what he said.
Talking to strippers over in
Destiny trading touch them.
It's Mercedes.
Mercedes and Destiny.
over here.
How's Trixie and Tiffany?
Oh, How'd you know?
I always get, what's your real name?
That's right. You're like, oh.
Thanks, Dad.
Okay, so let's get into some pop culture. We just had the Grammys. We talked about this earlier. Keith, do you watch any type of music, pop culture music? Beyonce won country album.
She did?
Yes. She beat all of them.
Amazing.
She'll be coming round the mountain.
I think that's a headline.
This is Texas. No, that's
Hold on. You're pissed because you're like, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's played out. Why did she win?
It wasn't
country
that
album?
great.
Can someone explain to me why that they dedicated the whole thing to like the fires, right?
Yeah, they raised like almost $7 million.
Did you see all those concerts
but
though
hold on,
that have
hold
been
on.
dedicating to the fires?
Yeah.
They've been pretty good.
Yeah.
Like the lineup to these concerts are
But I'm
insane.
confused, okay? You have these celebrities that are making hundreds of millions of dollars. Why isn't every celebrity donating $1 million?
So why don't they just donate?
They just
money?
first of all, they're raising money from the people watching the Grammys.
Yeah.
They're
How about
not.
the people at the Grammys?
Well,
The celebrities.
They had what's his name? What's his name that hosted it? Trevor. So he did say, everyone sitting up in the box seats from like all the music companies, please donate as well. And then he was reading like, okay, well, so and so donated, 1 million. So and so just donated. So they actually
$7 million seems like not a lot of money for the whole entertainment industry.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
They make that in like one day.
One day,
Like
yeah.
I mean, like
True.
I just find that you make Britney Spears Britney Spears. What's Taylor Swift makes what? She's worth $1 billion.
Right.
Yeah. Why aren't those
$1 billion.
people donating themselves to the fire?
Yeah.
Right.
Like it makes no sense that they're donating their time.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
It's like donate money. Put your money where your mouth is.
Right, right.
But you did that for
Yeah, I did that. Of course I did that.
for the animals. So
I mean,
you
it's
said you
ridiculous.
matched whatever contributions.
I did. Yeah.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Put my
Like,
money where my
I feel
mouth
like
was.
that's-
And I put people in my house. And I housed people in the fires. And I did animals, people, babies, everybody you can imagine.
Babies.
I'm like
strippers,
In-N-Out
you have strippers,
Burger.
Amanda, did you?
Strippers.
I might have had strippers. But my point is I guess, maybe they get asked a lot to donate, so they just figure their time is what it is.
Maybe they
right?
pick and choose their battles.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Okay, so Trisha said, I cannot believe that you would laugh and make jokes about the people that were on the plane. No, we weren't
think she was
laughing
listening
about
to
the
us.
people on
What
the
joke did we
plane.
make?
You misunderstood, unfortunately. That is a horrific, horrific tragedy. And we were trying to figure out exactly how it happened. And I don't think any of us were laughing about it because it's not a funny matter. And in fact, traffic control and putting DEI to blame for everything is not right either. It's basically just, it was an accident. Accidents happen.
No, they need to find out why it happened.
Why.
They need
Someone's
to find out
responsible
why.
for it.
We
Someone's
haven't
responsible for
heard
it.
why it happened. We haven't. Nobody knows.
No.
I
mean, it's either going to be, there's two, it's pilot error, number one, because they're both the same altitude and they should have been. So someone's to blame for that, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the controller issue, which they should have warned them. Either way, the pilot should have been in the same altitude.
Yeah.
If they were, the control tower is the last resort to say, traffic alert, drop, altitude 200 feet or something like that. But there wasn't somebody to do that.
Yeah.
So they were short-staffed, whatever.
Yeah.
So how?
It was short-staffed. I think it goes to the top. Who didn't hire somebody?
Right.
That's who's to blame.
And that's
for
what
this.
they're saying. That's what they're
It's
saying.
who didn't hire because there was no qualifications when there was plenty of applicants.
Right.
So that right there is a problem.
Yeah. And if there's money to hire and there's people like,
There's money, there's funding,
yeah,
there's
just,
everything.
it's like you can't, I think
Yeah.
it's a tragedy that hopefully won't happen again now that, it's not. But what I really did like? I liked the response that they had. Like you had first responders, you had the president. I mean, it was in DC, granted. Yeah, the brand new transportation secretary who was on the job for 24 hours, okay, before two crazy plane accidents. There hasn't been a plane accident like that since 9/11,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
and the guy's on their job for 24 hours,
Yeah.
So wait, so you said, the conspiracy theory that the pilots were already dead on the airplane.
They also,
Who came
I
up with
laugh,
that?
Joe, I'm laughing, but I'm not. I just laugh at the conspiracy theories part, but they also said that the Tesla guy, right, because the Tesla can technically drive itself.
Right.
So that the New Orleans bombing in his Tesla truck, he said they thought he was dead too when they went, and they drove the Tesla remote.
That would make more sense.
It would make
Right,
more
it
sense
would.
then because it's being remotely.
Yeah.
You're actually.
Because the guy had a Desert Eagle.
Then you have someone to blame. There's a human body.
Right.
Right. And
Well, there's
his
also
passport,
suicide missions and stuff like that.
But he had
So-
his
Conspiracy theory,
passport wasn't burnt, but the whole truck inside
So they
the
could
truck
see
was.
who it was.
So, but the other thing too is that he had a Desert Eagle, which is one of the largest handguns made. It's like a 50 caliber. I think they make it in 44. But they have the video of the thermal, I think it was a thermal image of the car. They don't show the gun going off. And he supposedly shot himself and then detonated it. But you'd see that flash in the car right away. Like you'd see it.
So I wonder if that's the new thing that all these people are doing is they're
Is it
killing them,
remotely?
sticking them, and then remoting them
And then blaming them.
and blaming them.
Oh,
Oh my God. This is interesting.
but anyway, so that
Because
was
what about Kobe?
that was
Was
just
that a
happened.
Black Hawk?
That was
No, that wasn't
Black Hawk.
Kobe, and that just happened. What his anniversary was about 6 days ago.
A couple days ago.
Yeah. So what happened with Kobe? Like, didn't
Kobe,
he?
so that was that.
I mean, that pilot ran straight. They said he didn't even stop. He
It
ran
was
straight.
fog. It was a lot of
so
things.
he had Kobe.
Yeah.
So Kobe was like, keep in mind, this pilot has flown for Kobe a long time, and I used to live next to Kobe.
Oh, that's his helicopter crash 2020. Oh, that was January
Yeah, it was
2020.
four-
That was
it was
right
like
at
yeah, it was
the
last
beginning
week.
of the New Year.
So the difference with the Kobe scenario is unfortunately.
S-76B helicopter.
So it was a.
It was a really nice
Yeah, it was
helicopter.
a nice helicopter, but they don't have they don't have terrain warning. But airplanes usually have terrain warning. So if you see it, and the thing with the helicopter is it can go up and down so fast that if you don't see the terrain, you're just landing into the terrain, right?
Right.
So, and unfortunately, the deal with Kobe's scenario is that when you're a celebrity and you get into this airport and his daughter had practice or a game, right? And the pilot's like kind of questioning whether or not he should fly. And Kobe's like, I need to get to this game. You're going to be like, okay, like I'll do this. Like you got to have a pretty strong will to tell Kobe Bryant that you don't feel safe to fly.
Right.
Because he's going to be like, what? Why? Let's go. Like,
Yeah.
you know? So it's kind of, his own, unfortunately, I think that his own celebrity is what actually got him
Like
into that
ego.
predicament.
Maybe.
So because the pilot that guy was so experienced.
I heard that he was just hours and hours of training, and there's just
Yeah, it
no
seems
way.
so
But he
experienced.
did say, I don't think it's going to be
Yeah.
safe with the fog coverage that's going on.
And
Like,
the
he
only
was
way he
warned.
would have went is if
Yeah.
Kobe said, let's go.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, if he said, I don't feel safe with the fog coverage, and he still went, then that means that someone talked him into going.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and what happened was they just got lost in the fog. He didn't see the train and just slammed into the mountain.
Yeah.
So that was really sad. But what was even worse was you had the deputies that took pictures
I remember
Yeah.
that. Yes.
And then released that
and then
footage.
released them, and they got.
What?
Yeah, and
took
so
pictures, yeah.
his wife created a lawsuit over
Yeah.
it.
Your wife,
I think
Shelley,
she won.
Because
like
she-
$20 million.
Yeah, and I mean, she deserves it. I mean, they were releasing photos of like bodies and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Of her daughter?
Or-
Kobe,
It's
everyone.
wrong. It's distasteful. Yeah.
So wait, they took photos of after the crash and then released the photos?
Yeah,
Before-
the
Before-
deputies.
I
before
think
the
even before the
deputies
family
selling
knew
it.
that had
The
happened.
deputy
For
was
the
in a
family.
bar, and he showed one of the bartenders or something. And I think that's what happened. And so the bartender took it or said, send that to me or something. But he showed somebody either way. Just horrible.
Wow.
Bad judgment.
Bad judgment. Okay, so let's talk a little bit of pop culture drama. Let's talk Bianca being naked at the Grammys.
Oh,
I'm sure Keith saw that.
I did see that.
You did see
She actually asked my opinion on what she should.
You're right.
She asked my opinion on what she should wear. I said nothing.
I said nothing.
I don't want to do it.
Go in your birthday suit.
I told her- I
Did you
told her.
see the outfit, Keith?
Yeah, but I'm more impressed that they got booted the hell out of there.
They didn't.
No, they didn't.
They
thought they
didn't.
did. Wait,
they
It's
did?
all, I heard that it was like lies. I
Yeah.
don't think they really got kicked out of there.
Luke, will you Google, did they get
Kanye
kicked out
West get
of,
booted.
did they get kicked out of, did Bianca get kicked out of?
No, they didn't.
They didn't?
No.
First hand.
I mean, she got to rock that no outfit for the whole evening.
She was literally naked.
Wait, so after I went
Look
home,
at.
No, so listen.
Look at her nips showing.
No,
She's
but
totally naked.
how are those nipples not hard? I just want to know because it's probably freezing.
That's
and
true.
so I saw a
Maybe they
picture
were
later. and
maybe
like,
they were pasty.
She had all those nude patches on her.
oh.
All she had on
No, she didn't have all over her nipples. I saw her nip.
nipples were out, but she
No,
had-
nipples were out, but at
Oh,
one
she
point,
had a patch on her vagina.
like, look at one point they're not hard.
No,
And
but
I'm like,
those are real
At
nipples.
one point, what do you? How can you tell her?
I was gonna say,
nipples
how do you
are hard?
tell?
because right now that's edited. You can't see
Yeah.
it, anything.
So you saw it without?
I started Googling them when I got home, and I was like, oh my gosh, actually
show it?
those are not hard nipples.
You did? And then her nipples were out.
Wow.
At what point do you say,
Snatchback.
So the question is,
Band-Aid?
are they real?
No, it's
Or are they
how
fake?
do sex scenes on movies. They put it right here, and then it goes like.
Oh.
That's how they do sex scenes like that all the time. By the way.
But I mean,
That's how I do my sex.
do they look
okay,
real?
okay, so let's
need
we're
one of
on
those.
camera. There she is, right there.
Wow.
That's a
She
real.
looks like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, she really
It's
does.
just insane.
She looks identical to Kim.
Kip's probably like, kids,
Kanye's like, I'm hitting that.
he's so
But
weird.
I feel like Kanye doesn't have any respect for his wife.
No
like, would you
way.
want
Is
your
that his wife?
wife?
No, Kim
Yeah, they're
Kardashian
married now.
sold her soul to like the dark side.
Yeah.
So I think he's making fun of Kim by being like, "You're a drone. You're fake." You know.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get back into like
It does
really
celebrity
look like her.
attention. He needs
Yeah.
attention again.
Yeah.
Kanye always needs attention. So
Do you think he's actually mentally ill, or is that
absolutely.
really Kanye?
Yeah.
I think they're all mentally ill. The whole Kardashian family is mentally
I also
ill.
think a lot of smart people, autistic people, are also mentally ill. Like they're smart, they know things, they are geniuses in their own sense. So I don't know.
But you got yeah.
Look at the outfits. Do you guys like the outfits?
Wow,
at the
Lady Gaga,
Grammys?
like that scary wig.
Yeah, who's that chick on the bottom?
Yeah.
That's Chaparral.
I don't know who that was.
Chaparral.
Chaparral
Who's that?
Rowan.
Okay, so let's get. So, do you know that P Diddy was just hospitalized
I did actually.
for a
about
knee
this?
surgery?
Knee surgery.
He was
He's
on
been
his
on his
knees.
knees a little
I'll
too
bet.
much.
Someone dropped the
and,
soap.
Someone dropped the soap and he went to go grab it. So let me get that soap for you.
I know.
So them knee pads.
I think that as far as the whole
He's in the jail by himself. How did he hurt his knee? Like I don't understand. What he's like jumping around the cage, they're jumping around the cell. I don't.
so we also discussed
Hey, hopscotch.
You know how that happened. You
What?
know how his knees gave out.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
He's busy. He's busy helping daddy.
And I think that he needs pain
he's
meds.
getting some free. He's getting some more ramen.
no, he just needs
commissary.
pain meds.
He needs pain meds. He needs to get.
So he just banged his knee on the wall.
Ramrod, pain meds.
I mean, it makes sense.
Any
It's like,
knee
it's
problem?
like, what would they believe? A knee injury.
They didn't get kicked out. Said they just left after the carpet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jillian talks. Jillian, do you really talk? We want to know.
Speak up.
So wait, they left after the recovery. Well, I mean, okay, so let's go back to that. Why wouldn't you kick out naked people from your party?
Because it's art. And
I
then
would
there's the
never
whole.
kick somebody out naked from my party.
They-
you kidding?
do you think
I
that they're
encourage nudity.
trashing up the Grammys now? I mean, what's his
Hollywood
name?
is trash right
Yes,
now.
I so
Who
does.
cares? Like, it's just.
No,
it's
what's
gone.
the kid that wore the thing on his head? Jaden Smith wore a castle on his head.
Castle?
What the?
We
Yeah,
still
like,
don't know
like
the
a
meaning
black
behind that.
castle.
It's a black castle.
Yeah,
For
Google
me,
that.
I feel like the whole industry has shot itself in the foot. And I think that they're so
What is
sinister and
that
so
toothless
perverse.
wonder there? What is that?
The grill.
I
it's
think
a
they're
grill.
so perverse
grill?
that they. I mean, look at that.
That looks like a haunted mansion.
What?
I don't even know
That's
what
not
that,
even a castle.
What's that significant of?
How did you get? How
That
did you
he's
get
living in a
talked into
personal
wearing that?
hell.
It's a black hell house.
Yeah, it's what it
I
is.
feel like he lost a bet. Like that's for sure. Like, if you lose,
What shock value?
Oh, well.
Oh, living in your head.
Okay.
Peanut gallery. Thank you.
I'm more concerned about our missing tooth in the corner.
Symbolic of living in your own head.
I guess it makes sense.
I guess, whatever.
So was Jaden one of the kids that was passed around at the parties or no?
Allegedly.
It's so weird to say it like
Oh,
What?
they say. I mean,
Passed around.
apparently him and Bieber have a strong connection.
Him and Bieber, like, supposedly were together in the situation.
Oh, boy.
They're like, yeah.
just-
that.
But,
Can we just find out about the Epstein stuff? I don't really care about
But
the
what's
details of
taking
P. Diddy.
so
We all know
long?
he did it.
Okay, so yeah, what
like-
happened? They just shut off Epstein all of a sudden. He's
That'll
go-
come. I think that's gonna they're gonna have some.
When are they going to announce the Epstein
I know.
list?
At
And
this
all that
point,
other
I think
crap?
we have an idea of the flight logs. We know who
I
was
think
there.
everyone knows.
We know
It's
who's
just a
there.
matter of
It's
like, does anyone want
Is
to do
anything going to
about it?
happen about it? That's all I'm just saying is like, okay, so we find out this list, but then what? Nothing's going to come out of it. Who cares?
Okay, so Bill Gates was for sure on that list, and also Bill Gates was trying to control our food, supposedly. So let's talk about not Bobby Kennedy, but
JFK. JFK.
No, Bobby Kennedy, who's running the food
Yeah.
source now.
Oh yeah.
Junior.
Okay, I can't understand him when he
So,
talks.
so
It's like,
what do you
I
think
know.
he thinks? Do you think
So
he's
bad.
ever going to meet with Bill Gates and be like, "Hey, dude, I know you were trying to fuck with all the food, but
What's
I'm
the
here."
point of that? I don't understand what Bill Gates. What's the point of Bill Gates fucking with the food?
I don't know either.
Maybe
Like, where's the result? What result?
Maybe like
No,
longevity.
Bill Gates wanted population control. So his big thing was population control.
Like, what the
Big
crap?
thing.
Do you just wake up and say, I got so much money, I don't know what to do with it. I'm gonna make population control. Like, did you see? And then what happened with the Oh, that's right. They were drilling Bobby Kennedy about how he went to Uganda or something, and there was about it wasn't measles. It was what's that other big one?
Mumps,
No, it's
syphilis.
no.
she's thinking about the strippers.
But he went to Uganda and he said something about that
Monkeypox.
No. He said if you get the vaccine, he was talking about how you shouldn't get the vaccine, and they were just drilling him on it because he was they said he's anti-vaccine. I don't think he is.
Who? Bobby?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he is.
So
he's not.
I think Bill Gates thinks that maybe like a natural disaster is going to happen to where we're not going to be able to live off our own food source. So he's creating a food source. This is what I'm thinking. I'm not, don't quote me on it, but it kind of makes sense though. In that, if you think about it like that, like he may know something. A meteor may be coming towards us. We don't know, and then all of a sudden you got to eat off your own man-made food.
Or eat each other.
Yeah, that's next. Yeah.
Oh my God! So
doesn't
okay,
like-
Drink your blood.
let's talk about the show The View. Okay.
God.
Don't watch it.
I'm out.
It's not that interesting to me.
So I heard that they're going to cancel The View. What do you guys think of that?
I thank God. That show is horrible.
I'm surprised it's still on. It's still on.
No, but I think what they've
There's
done.
haters.
Yeah.
There's negative Debbie Downers who love to watch negative shit.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think of the show The View?
I think they just made it purposely negative, get the ultimate negative.
Yeah.
Like the
Because they were
Karens
getting
of
so
the
much
world.
publicity.
The Karens are alive and well
all
on The
Karen.
View.
They're all Karens.
All Karens, yeah. But what do you think of people that go on The View as guests? I mean, why would you ever go on that show?
Oh,
if it's that negative?
wasn't that JD Vance who went on there? That was like he actually like. Oh, was it Junior? One of the guests they had was like just ripped them. Oh. He's like, you have no knowledge of what you're talking about right now. I
Yeah.
forgot who it was. Who was the conservative guest on The View?
Yeah, Google who the conservative guest.
Super conservative guest on The View.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about they're coming up with another one with Candace Owens, right?
I actually like her.
Okay,
No,
so
I like her.
what do you guys
Yeah.
think of Candace Owens?
I love her.
I love her. It's
Why do you
bizarre.
like her?
She just goes.
Start with
and she-
Tiffany.
She pushes it. Like, you know what I mean? Like she
Yeah.
doesn't, and she takes risks.
pretty bold, yeah.
And she's bold, and maybe she says what we shouldn't be saying.
Ted Cruz is-
But it's like,
Oh, Ted Cruz.
I actually really like her, and I pay attention.
Ted Cruz was on The View and just kind of annihilated them a little bit.
Why would they have Ted Cruz on?
I don't know.
Okay, let's go. I'm sorry.
That's like walking into a Shark Tank.
Yeah, no.
we just cut Tiffany off. So,
No, it's okay. I just really like Candace Owens. I liked her doing this whole thing. I watch her podcasts. She's
Yeah.
blunt. She's bold. She takes risks.
and
you
Keith,
know?
why do you like her?
She's blunt. I think that's what society needs. Like that's why Trump was elected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because people were just over the non-transparent bullshit. Like
Right.
if you can lie and tell us that Joe Biden hasn't been suffering from some sort of dementia for the last year and a half, like, and he's fine.
Yeah.
Like people are over that. They
Yeah.
just want to hear the truth.
I think people
Good or
want
bad.
they want
Like,
common sense.
Common sense.
Common sense,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what
Just
it
common
is.
sense.
So your husband's a business owner and very successful, and he works really hard. He's got a great demeanor. He's really up with what's going on in Orange County. What does he think of the administration right now as far as business in California is concerned? Has he talked to you about what are people investing in California? Are they going to come back? Are we just screwed in California for a while?
Well,
what's happening?
Well, because we are business owners, I feel like California is not making it easy for the small business owners because what they're doing is minimum wage is now $20 an hour. So I think so. He's a little discouraged about that.
Okay.
And so I think California is pretty strict about $20 an hour. For hourly
which is
wage.
unlivable wage, by the way.
But those jobs, like no disrespect to working at McDonald's, but those are supposed to be an entry level position anyways.
Right.
You're making fries.
$20 an hour is like
That's nothing. I
I wanna say-
it isn't. But for the small business man, paying all your employees, if you have 60 employees and you're paying them $20 an hour,
Yeah.
and you're customer service, like we have, a couple of car washes and things like that. it's hard to because you got to keep raising your prices, and then people don't want to pay the high prices. So I think it's hard for the small businessmen.
Okay, so her
That's
husband owns
$41,000 a year,
Premier.
$20.
Yeah, you can't live.
Her husband owns Premier 7 car wash.
Across from the Bay Club?
Yes, that's her husband.
I can't wait to get free car washes.
That is free car washes for everyone.
How long is he
It's
on that?
amazing. By the way, it's automated. They got coffee.
No, but hold on. So
funny.
how long?
It's
Did
VIP.
he just buy that, or did he own the other one too before they renovated it?
No. So we bought it like
amazing.
2 years ago.
So you bought the property or the
We bought the business 2 years ago.
What's that land lease like, man?
Dude, yeah.
It's a little. That's what I'm saying. If you're paying $20 an hour to
That land's got to be what? That's got to be like $20,000 a month.
They're looking to not survive on that strip.
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
What's the asking? What are they asking for the property?
What did he pay for the property?
Oh, he bought the property?
No. He bought the business.
He said he tried to buy it.
We're trying
What did they
to buy
offer?
it.
Yeah.
Huh?
What did they offer for that property?
She doesn't want to
Oh, the
You
land.
should
The
disclose
land is.
numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying when you can
expensive.
find out what it's worth. I mean,
It's pretty expensive.
Like
10?
But
10 mil?
more than
a little bit more.
More?
Yeah, a little bit more. So, but what's kind of unique about the car wash is that, as you know, it's actually like steam. So when you go to a regular car wash, you have the little bristles and they kind of.
No, this is seamless. I literally bring my super nice
so
car
it doesn't
there.
touch the
It
car.
doesn't touch
It is
anything.
completely.
Oh, that's
And
perfect.
they've got these amazing staff that's just so sweet. Then you could sit there and have coffee.
Or you could just
Free
go to
coffee.
Balboa
Free
Bay Club
coffee.
and have like a
And that's
breakfast.
what people do. Yeah, we bring the cars back over there.
Yeah,
And
you could go to
it's
Balboa
great.
Bay Club, have
Yeah.
lunch, and then they clean your car and you walk over there like, I need the key. And you're like,
But we're like a small business, and it's when you have 60 employees, and
that's
you're.
what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean it's a
You
little.
have 60 employees?
That's just
Pretty big.
One location.
one location. We have several
that's not a
locations.
chain?
No, we're just all independently owned.
60 at that car wash?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
We
because
probably
you have to
10, 15 people working at a time.
at a time, right? And then you have the manager.
Her
you have
husband
the-
is the one. I went in there for my car wash.
Yeah.
I ended up befriending them. I'm like, I love your new car wash. I was waiting for you to open. So I said, I have a studio. Oh, who put in your HVAC? Because I needed air conditioning right for this unit here.
I feel
And
it.
he like
I know.
literally,
I know.
I paid for the HVAC.
Probably turn some of that on.
But her husband was so sweet into like, let me give you my contractor. The contractor showed up. They finished the bathrooms for me. They installed the HVAC. I mean, he was a no bullshit guy.
Yeah.
But I said, how is it running a business in California? And I'm just curious because he's
tough.
like, it's brutal.
It's brutal.
Yeah, it's
It's
his payroll taxes and just like the workers' comp on
it's
that
workers'
is probably
comp.
gnarly.
It's
Premier
ridiculous.
7 car wash.
Yeah. So, so
but
come get your
Your
car
workers'
wash.
comp is almost 30% of your payroll.
Yeah.
That's gnarly. That's crazy. You're paying if your payroll is $1 million a year, you're paying $300,000 in workers' comp.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it could even be more than that because it depends on how likely they are to get hurt, right?
Yeah.
So
That's things
if you
happen.
have a car wash, I'd imagine would probably be on the higher side,
Yeah.
like a warehouse worker.
Yeah.
Well, I just think, California needs to do something. We need to bring back businesses to California. We need
Yes.
to bring back, we need to like lower taxes on a lot of, I mean, how do you think we're going to attract business? We're losing Hollywood. By the way, I just heard New Jersey is now the new Hollywood. They've got
and
tax
Vegas, too.
credit in Vegas. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, how are we going to bring money back here? People left because of the property, the homeless tax. I mean, people are leaving. Like, Keith, I know you're also a business owner. You own Cryo Innovations, and you work your butt off. I mean, you have a ton of employees that work for you. You've got also marketing and social media.
Yeah.
You've got like everything. How do you keep it together?
Don't. I'm just kidding. Like you got
It's hard, right?
go crazy. So you have good friends that are crazier than you.
Yeah.
I have a couple of those in the studio today. So as long as I love you. So as long as you have people that are crazier than you, you don't feel as crazy.
You don't feel that's crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's like
do you
Misery
think,
Loves Company.
Yeah,
kind
right.
of thing.
So it's just, but it's like it's babysitting.
Yeah.
101. Like,
Yeah.
no offense to my employees, but it's like it's the thing is like.
Do you want to come over here and give us a hug? Come on, give us a hug. Is this our lead babysitter right here? Come on over here. Oh, this is Keith's babysitter. We want to.
I'm the resident lesbian.
Look how excited
This is turning
Just kidding.
she's like, it's mine now. Where's your hand out? Liz? It's on her tit. What are you
Keith's babysitter.
Oh my God.
Say hi to Keith.
Wait, I thought she's like, look down my shirt.
So check out these new titties.
And everything.
Anyway, so but it's kind of like they'll come to you with, it's always fires, right? It's always like, everyone's got a fire. Everything's important. Like everything's like it's like a do or die. It's like, I got to send this email. What do I do? I'm like, send the email.
Yeah.
But
Common sense.
It is. Bring back common sense.
Well, this week, and everybody, thank you for watching this week's episode of Live at 5. We want to hear from you. If you guys have questions, comments, or concerns, or if you just want us to talk and shoot the shit about a topic, go to my just leave us a message on the chat section right here on what you want us to talk about, or go to my Instagram at elizabethlynnvargas.com or Keith Max, Tiffany Sowersby.
SoCal Tiffy.
SoCal Tiffy.
Oh, I like that.
And she's complaining about a
Straight
That's like my MySpace. Just go back.
Yes. And of course we have Carr Dunn over here.
That's it, plain and simple. It's Carr Dunn.
Francis, with an ES.
With an ES.
Carr Dunn.
Yes.
If you need, property listed, we're here to give you the weekly tea, weekly update. Thank you for watching Live at 5. Tune in next week. Subscribe on our YouTube channel. If there's anything you want us to talk about or any controversy you want us to kind of explain, or maybe Keith
We're going to have a few strippers with fentanyl here.
If you need a cryo machine,
From Canada.
From Canada.
we want to
my
thank
sister
our
was a
sponsor, Lutava. Thank you, Casey. We love you. We love our seats. We love not having any bacteria in our vaginas.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Oh, boy.
Or other private
Sponsored by the gynecologist.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to this week's Live at 5, brought to you by Girl Talk. I'm Elizabeth Vargas.
Francis Carr Dunn.
Tiffany Sowersby.
Keith Maximillian.
Like, subscribe, follow us, support us on Patreon, but more importantly, subscribe on YouTube for updates. Thanks again for watching. Woo! We made it! Woo! We did it! Woo!